You ever wonder why some people just seem to pull you in? They're magnetic. And then there are others who, are perfectly nice, but they just don't hold your attention. Well, the answer might be way simpler than you think. This is all about the mystery advantage, and we're going to break down exactly why being a little less predictable might just be your greatest superpower. So, this quote right here, this is the core idea we're diving into. Just think about it for a second. An unopened book is pure potential, right? It's exciting, but once you know the whole story, cover to cover, that initial thrill, it's just gone. This metaphor is the absolute key to understanding how we keep people interested and fascinated. Okay, so let's get into it. I want you to think of someone you find genuinely fascinating. Could be anyone, a friend, a coworker, maybe even someone famous. Got someone? Okay, now ask yourself, what is it about them that really captures your imagination? I'm willing to bet the person you're thinking of has layers. You don't know their whole story, do you? They have these surprising interests or experiences that pop up. Just like that unopened book, there are still pages you haven't read, and that's exactly what makes you want to keep turning them. It's just hardwired into us to be drawn to a good puzzle. Right, so if being a bit of a mystery is so powerful, what's the flip side? What happens when all that mystery just disappears? Let's talk about the real cost of being an open book 100% of the time. What's so interesting here is the trade-off it shows us. Look, on one hand, predictability gives us comfort. It feels safe, we know exactly what's coming. But that comfort, it has a hidden price tag, and that price is boredom. Now, mystery, on the other hand, brings a little tension. It's this healthy uncertainty that keeps us engaged, and that's what fuels real fascination and interest that actually lasts. And that gets us to the real truth here. That little spark, that feeling of, that's interesting, I want to know more. Psychologists have a name for that. It's called cognitive tension. And it is the engine of all curiosity. When someone is completely predictable, there's zero tension. There's no puzzle to solve. The engine just stalls out, and our fascination stalls right along with it. So how does this engine actually work? What's going on in our brains that explains this whole thing so perfectly? Yeah, that's the big question, right? Because this isn't just some vague feeling we get. No, there's a real psychological engine driving all of this. And here it is, the curiosity gap mechanism. The best way to think about it is like a killer movie trailer. It gives you just enough info, you see the characters, you get the setup, but it leaves this huge gap about what happens next. And your brain hates that gap. It creates this mental itch, that cognitive tension we were just talking about, and you feel this deep, powerful urge to go see the movie just to scratch it. It's the exact same thing in our relationships. And that, right there, is the solution. It's all about strategic unpredictability. Now, this isn't about being chaotic or unreliable. Not at all. It's about consciously choosing not to spill every single bean about yourself all at once. You create that curiosity gap, maybe by sharing a surprising hobby or a unique opinion, and then you just let it hang in the air for a bit. You invite people to want to know more. Okay, so we've got the theory down. We know the what and the why. But let's get to the good stuff. How do you actually use this? How do you create your own mystery advantage without feeling fake? So think of this more as a mindset than a strict rule book. First, you create a gap. Let's say you're an accountant, but you're also a competitive salsa dancer. How cool is that? You mention it. Second, you maintain that tension. Don't tell your 5 best dancing stories in the first 2 minutes. Let that curiosity build up. And third, you invite discovery. When people start asking questions, you answer, and you let them feel like they're the ones uncovering these amazing layers about you. And this might be the most important point of all. This is not about being secretive or deceptive or playing hard to get. It's actually the total opposite. It's about having so much depth, so many unique experiences that you literally can't be summed up in one conversation. It's about having chapters and trusting that those chapters are interesting enough that people will want to keep reading. So, as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. In your own life, in your own story, what are the chapters that people don't know about yet? What page are you going to leave unwritten, inviting someone else to discover it for themselves? The answer to that? Well, that's your mystery advantage.